From Asia News. I'm Jack Sepp.
Welcome to From Asia News, your least trusted source for all the latest from the Korean Peninsula. I'm Steve Lee.
And I'm Newsman Ricky O.N. Let's get started.
It appears that a major source of COVID infections driving the current wave gripping Korea can be traced back to adult entertainment establishments found throughout the country. So congratulations, prudes. You've managed to find the one downside of regularly visiting prostitutes.
South Korea has imposed a limit on the beats per minute of music played in the country's gyms. This will help reduce exertion levels and hopefully lower the risk of spreading COVID-19. While this seems silly and borderline insane, Minister of Public Health DJ Kimchi Worldwide says the science lines up.
The Deputy Chief of Mission at the Japanese Embassy in Korea has described President Moon Jae-in's efforts to improve the relationship between the two countries as moon masturbating. I guess this is what my wife means when she says that I have what it takes to be president.
Moon later canceled a trip to Japan for the Olympics. When asked how he planned to fill his holes in his now empty schedule, he said, "I have some things in mind."
South Korea is set to spend 2.89 trillion won by 2035 to build an interceptor system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome to protect the country against potential artillery strikes from the north. Meanwhile, my own Iron Dome project of metal robots that give blowjobs has yet to secure seed funding.
North Korea has warned its youth against adopting foreign speaking habits and lifestyles. For instance, they banned calling your husband or boyfriend oppa the way South Koreans do. In a lot of cases, I disagree with North Korea, but here I gotta say, yeah, calling your husband your older brother is kind of weird. Unless we're talking about porn, in which case, no judgments from me.
Next thing you know, they'll be wanting to emulate other aspects of South Korean culture, like having enough to eat or not being executed using anti-aircraft guns.
North Korea recently resumed direct cross-border communications with the South, 13 months after closing them due to the latter's anti-Pyongyang propaganda activities. The following is a recreation of that momentous call. Boop, 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 boop. Bring!
Hello?
Hello, is your refrigerator running?
Why, yes it is.
Oh my God, electricity, please give me food.
A first-grade teacher in Ulsan has been convicted for getting his students to send him photos of them washing their underwear, which he later shared on social media, captioned with super creepy notes. How this criminal mastermind managed to get caught? I'll never know.
Korean broadcaster MBC has come under fire for their blunderous coverage of the Olympic opening ceremonies, using photos of Chernobyl and rioting in the graphics for the Ukrainian and Haitian delegations, and stereotypical foods for a number of other countries. Meanwhile, they accurately showed a dilapidated French brothel to depict Jack's mom.
The network has since issued an apology, though one unnamed executive was heard to say, "This is what you get for using Gangnam Style for literally everything associated with Korea for the past decade." And for more Olympic news, here's senior sex correspondent Jack Savage.
New Zealand, ranked 122nd in the world, defeated 39th ranked Korea in the first round of Olympic men's football. Apparently, we Kiwis can do more than just sheep. And in archery news, the South Korean women's team again took the top Olympic prize to extend the longest gold streak in the country's history. The previous holder of the title for the longest gold streak? Ricky's pissy mattress.
A bus driver stopped his vehicle in the middle of a bridge in Seoul so passengers could take photos of a double rainbow. Just 30 seconds to witness this rare phenomenon managed to bring these people so much happiness. A double rainbow, as we know, refers to a Korean woman with super large tatas.
The lawyer of the deceased Seoul mayor who was accused of harassing his secretary has recommended that male CEOs only employ male secretaries from now on. This advice has been criticized by all except for one group, the FCY, or Fierce CEOs. Yas!
A South Korean inventor has developed a toilet that turns human feces into energy and a digital currency called Gul. While I may have missed the Bitcoin rush, it won't be happening this time around.
The young inventor has said, "I now think of feces as a treasure of great value. I even talk about it during meal times." We would like to commend the young scientist for really establishing herself as the world's worst dinner guest.
A man in his 50s has been detained for stabbing a veterinarian after the death of his dog during a routine neutering. In the man's defense, it may have been insensitive of the veterinarian to return the dog in a steak basket. Are you happy, Jack? I did the joke you wanted.
The report has shown that North Koreans scored higher last year on the TOEFL English Language Proficiency exam than their neighbors to the south. With it being speculated that photos of Kim Jong-un may have inspired the North Korean students, it's only a matter of time before South Korea starts putting up portraits of a fat narcissist in their own classrooms.
According to the Korean Educational Ministry, international students from countries where coronavirus variants are prevalent should not come to Korea until the nation's vaccination rate increases. They also recommend just not coming at all if you're super brown.
It's jail time for 3 Suwon sisters who beat their mother to death under the direction of their shaman, who said the mother was blocking the sisters' luck. I personally hope this dark story serves as a warning to unlucky mothers everywhere.
The Korean government has announced plans to attract highly skilled foreign workers in yet another news story that's not relevant to English teachers.
According to a survey, only 3 out of 10 Koreans expressed an interest in this year's Olympic Games. When asked whether Japan being the host of this year's Olympics affected their interest levels, those surveyed said, "Not at all. I wish the genocidal colonialists the best of luck with their little games."
23 elementary school students in Incheon tested positive for COVID-19 in an apparent infection cluster in a single week in July. Anything to get out of school for a couple days, eh, you little bastards? Due to an intense summer heat wave, pet owners have taken to running the air conditioner even when they're not home in an attempt to ensure that their little loved ones do not suffer any ill effects. Said Jack Savage, "But I thought Koreans like their meat well done."
Haenam County will be issuing fines to 7 monks of the Joge order of Korean Buddhism who were caught violating social distancing guidelines prohibiting gatherings of more than 4 people. The punishment handed down by the head monk? The rule breakers are to be reincarnated as the tastiest breeds of dog.
A new location-based app will allow smartphone users in 15 cities and counties surrounding Seoul to detect registered sex offenders within 20 meters, provided that they are wearing their ankle monitors. Best wishes on the project, but it's the 4th corona wave, so the 3 of us are mostly going to be staying at home.
A man has been arrested in Busan for making more than 3.3 billion won worth of an illegal drug after learning how to manufacture the substance in books and online. The man admits he may have misheard his parents when they said they hoped he'd become a math whiz.
Beginning in July, drinking along the Han River is to be prohibited from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next morning. And you've done it now, you maniacs, banning my favorite pastime of nighttime drinking outdoors. Silver lining, I've discovered a new love, that of illegal nighttime drinking outdoors. And that's the news for today. You can also find Jack Savage on the Burn the New Guys podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
And you can find Newsman Bold Bitch Ricky O.N.'s music down in the links below.